Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Fear in Spirits. Today, we have two very special guests joining us. We have the Menchacas. And if you want to tell us a little bit about yourselves, maybe give us some social media where people can follow y'all.
My name's Mike Menchaca Jr., and this is my dad.
And this is me, Mike Menchaca Sr., and this is my son.
That's right. So you can follow me on my personal social media stuff. You can look for Mike Menchaca on Facebook, Mike's Life on Instagram, and Native Bear Jewelry and Crafts on TikTok and on Facebook.
So I always like to start asking my guests, how much of a scaredy cat are you? Do you feel like you get easily scared, or do you not get scared at all about spooky stuff?
I think it's on the record that I get scared at a Scooby-Doo level, right? and he had something to do with producing that Scooby-Doo level. You want to tell him a little bit about that?
Well, I don't remember the Scooby-Doo level. Which one was that?
Well,
because I've never been scared, so everything's a joke about being scared.
Okay, all right, real quick.
So
Mini story then. Little mini story, okay? My wife and I are in the room. I'm standing by the door to leave the room with my back facing the exit, right? And this one comes up behind me to scare me. My wife says, right, because I don't remember, it was all a blur to me, right? It was complete blur to me, that I jumped up in the air. My legs did about 5 or 6 rotations in place. I landed and then took off.
Oh my God.
So it was legit. That night, I wasn't me that like said, oh, I guess got Scooby, like legit. That was Scooby-Doo scared. So
Lord Christ.
I mean, ultimately, I'm just telling the truth. I get Scooby-Doo scared.
It could have been a scary butterfly.
Ooh.
It was this big butterfly. If you're talking about a scary butterfly.
It was beautiful, beautiful butterfly.
Yeah. That's right.
But yeah, I mean, I encourage people to, think about their stories and tell us how you want to start chronologically, whatever comes to your mind.
Well,
the floor is yours.
Well, thank you for having us, number one.
Yeah, of course.
We're very excited to be here. I should have started off with that, right? So before we get to the story, super excited to be here. Super excited to be here. Yes. So if you're from San Antonio, right, and you like saltwater fishing, okay, you might relate with this story, okay, because we refer to this story as the Corpus Christi turnaround fishing trip terror. Okay, now if you're a fisherman and you're from San Antonio and you like fishing saltwater, you may have taken off from San Antonio in the course of one day, went over there to Corpus Christi, fished, and then come back in the same day, and maybe come back during the evening hours, right? After dinner or whatever. And that's pretty much what we did, but we did it kind of in the later shift. So when we took off, we're our comeback time, we're coming back like around, what was it?
12 o'clock or later.
Around, yeah, for sure after 12 o'clock, because we did our thing, and that's what we were fishing. What was it, the 11 o'clock tide or something like that, right?
Pretty much about 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, somewhere in there.
Yeah. So it's pitch black.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember after what happened to us.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Okay. So we take off from San Antonio. We go do our thing fishing, and it's about 11 o'clock or so, something like that. We fish the tide, and then we're packing up, and we hit the road, leaving Corpus Christi at about midnight, something like that, right? And it's the same old thing. We're not using the radio. We're talking the whole way to kind of stay awake, right? To make sure that everything's good. We're focused on the road and no one's falling asleep and dozing off, that sort of thing, right? That's what we got going on, right? That's our usual MO on those kind of fishing trips. Because it ain't the first time we taking this fishing trip, right? How many times have we taken this fishing trip?
I don't know. I'm already panicked. I'm already recanting the story, and I'm starting to panic.
That's a good sign for this show.
Fair enough. I'm smiling about it right now. Maybe I'm making a little bit light of it, but
It's okay.
That's what we had to do that night.
Yeah,
to
you
get
know,
past it.
You know what we did
To get past it, yeah.
we did. We definitely had to take a moment that night. Okay. So we got everything packed up. We're on the road, and once you're leaving Corpus Christi, you know, you see all the refineries. You're leaving those turns, and it's got that orangey yellow light, floodlights from way on top, right? You're leaving at that hour. No big deal. So we're passing. We're leaving town, and we're coming up to those turbines. Those wind turbines, the energy ones, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we're coming up to these turbines, and we're talking. I don't remember what we're talking about. It doesn't even matter. But we're coming up. What exit was it?
Well,
do you remember what exit was?
Here's where it gets a little shaky because we both kind of got lost in the time frame. I remember that we were closer to halfway home, right past Mathis or further in between Three Rivers or so. Damn. And you remembered it a little different.
I remember being it happening right after right through the turbines, right? And there's some big turns right there, and here's what happened. Okay,
let's get to it.
Here's what happened. We're talking, and I'm in the right lane.
You're driving.
Yes, I'm in the slow lane, as they call it, right? The slow lane.
What highway is this?
This is the Highway 37 coming from Corpus Christi back to San Antonio. So we fished and we're on our way back,
37
right?
north.
After midnight, okay? Everything's normal until we're coming up to these turns, right? And I'm driving and he's in the passenger seat. And we're turning, and it's one of those turns where you can barely see what's on the other side of the turn as you're going, right? And as we're turning and as we clear the turn right on the edge, so we're turning into it like that, right? And we're turning into it, and as we clear the turn, right there, like right in front of him, as how I remember it, there's someone standing right in the road.
Well, remember, there's someone standing there, but what came out of your mouth was a huge gasp for air.
Well, yes, because yes, 100%. Because
So, like, this person, was it like a shadow? Was it? Did you see what they were wearing? Like,
yes, I got details. I have details.
Lord.
Okay. It's a man, okay, and he is I would say just like a medium build, not even stocky, just kind of like, and of medium height, not short but not super tall, right? Black shirt with gray pants, and he's in the lane but more on like squared up with the passenger side. So like he's like lined up right with the passenger side from my angle, from what I'm seeing. So go ahead.
So we didn't pass him up.
Yeah.
We actually went.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. Okay, hold on.
Oh my God.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Because he says I gasp, right? And like I said, we're coming out of the turn, so I have like a split second to react. Otherwise, I'm gonna hit him. So I see him where he's at. I take a deep breath. I bury my elbows in my legs like this. I grab the steering wheel, okay? And I look to my left and I jerk the truck like that out of the way. And I buried myself because I knew if I jerked the truck, and I must have been going 75 at least, right? Because it's 75 going through there.
Yeah.
And I jerked the truck, and I'm holding on to it because when I jerk it, it goes that way. And it goes, right? God. And I'm holding on to it like that, and I'm making sure no one's next to me because I don't want to hit nobody either, right?
Yeah.
And I bring the truck back over, right, from swaying into the grass over there, right? And I'm just staring I'm staring straight at the street like that with my arms still locked into it, right?
Let me interrupt you.
Okay.
You said I hit him I hit him.
That's what I was about to
I
say.
hit him.
Yeah, and I go, did I hit him?
No, you said I hit him.
But
remember?
did y'all feel anything?
No,
like
no.
Oh,
No. That's why he, when I stopped him, he was about to say that he says he went through. Okay, and that's the part where, as soon as I see him, right, when I'm clearing the turn, and as soon as I see him, I take my eyes immediately off of him, and I immediately look to get myself out, to try to swerve out of the way without taking someone else out. So I as soon as I see him, I see the clothes, a few of those features, right? And I immediately look away. And by the time, there's no time to look back. When I'm swerving, and I got my arms like that, and I'm turning the truck looking that way, I'm waiting to hear that thunk.
Yeah.
I'm
But nothing.
waiting, but nothing. I swear, I thought from where I saw him and when I started the turn, I thought there was no way I wasn't gonna hit it.
Yeah.
I thought there was no way I wasn't, and I was just trying to turn it enough to side swipe him or something.
Yeah.
Right. And ultimately, it was the Valero that we because we called it in right away. Right. We called it. We made the report.
Yeah.
Because there was somebody in the road, and if by some miracle I didn't hit him, we had to call it in so that to let someone know there's someone in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Is that at that point we knew
You can
we
put
were-
it closer to you.
we knew at that point that we had hit something, or
You
how is
saw
it
it.
possible that we didn't? Because
Yeah, that's the thing. How is it possible? How is it possible?
you got the details of the person you saw.
Yeah.
All I saw was something white that was on him, and it was like a shadow moving across my path right here in the windshield. And that's when I told you, maybe it's the mirror he hit. Remember?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
my truck,
What?
I have a big truck, right, with those big mirrors that stick out the side too.
Oh, okay.
Right? So they stick out and they're that big,
Yeah.
and they're that
Yeah.
giant, right? So I mean, it's a big old like stoplight thing that's
But-
gonna smack.
Well,
the
I
dude.
feel like you
We
would have
call it
heard
the
it
gray
anyway.
elephant.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See that's the thing. We both agree from when we both saw, and we think it was a man, right?
Yeah.
We think it was a man, right?
Yeah, definitely we think it's a man.
Yeah, and we agree on the details, like from what we both saw. It's not like he's seen it different, right? Like
So
we thought we were gonna hit him from how close he was.
Well, that's why
Period.
we stopped at the gas station to see
Yeah.
where the damage would have.
Yeah.
If there was any damage on
Yep.
on the truck or on the mirror.
Yep. I got off the truck. I got my phone out. Okay. I got my phone out, like literally shaking like that, right? Trying to hold it steady, because as soon as I get out of the truck, I think I'm gonna see something
Yeah.
in the grill or something. You know what I mean?
See,
Yeah.
traumatic. I mean,
yeah,
you literally saw something, thought you hit it.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna see like a article,
Pieces or
splatter.
blood.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, and I'm just looking, and I did the best I could. I spent as much time as I could, but like we said, we called it in and everything too. It's like, I don't know, I'm looking as best. I don't see nothing on the truck.
So he's off the truck, and I'm telling him repeatedly, are you sure? Are you sure? Because I was expecting, some damage, or we didn't know what had happened,
Yeah.
because he was very emotional. But
Of course.
when you figure that I hardly ever get emotional over stuff, I was in I was so captivated in my fear at that moment that we had somebody that night. Yeah. Because
Thank God it was a ghost.
yeah, well, we thought we had hit him,
Yeah.
and like, where did he come from?
Yeah.
It started going to that, like, where did he come from?
Did y'all ever
Like-
do any research after that to see if there was any previous
No,
accidents?
we
or anything?
didn't talk about it for.
No, I talked about it. I I talked about it with my cousin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. I talked about it with my cousin. I'm talking about like a week or so later. Okay. Now, I don't remember what we were doing or what, but we were in the truck and I'm telling him the story, right? And as I'm telling him the story, he's like, and he had just been on a road trip himself, right? Passing turbines himself.
He's actually here in the studio with us. So,
and then he starts telling me about his experience. Right?
Damn.
So
You don't remember anything? Damn.
Right now.
No.
But I remember we did have that conversation.
yeah.
Because this story, he did talk to me when we went fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just recently also drove through that area and hearing, I think, other stories in reference to people getting hit there or people passing by people, but there's no one there.
Well,
Lord Christ.
we talked about it. You and I talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it.
But it was a month or two afterwards.
Yeah.
Because we I don't know how the conversation came up again, but we hesitated to have it because we didn't know what we had gone through that night. You know, we didn't.
You were in shock.
We were in shock still, I think. And in the beginning, he said, "No, let's not talk about that." And it was like, no, I think we have to talk about it because of, it was too real. It was too, like, how is it not possible that there was damage to the truck or something? And we both saw that there was supposed to have been, a wreck there,
Yeah.
So,
Because even at that, to cause you to react like,
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
All I did was I just went back in my chair, and
like prep yourself to.
Well, no, it was a gasp again because I'm seeing the shadow coming right at me already at this point, and remember that I told you right here is the door of a jam, and I said it had to at least hit the mirror. I told you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, check over here when he got down and everything. Check over here for anything, And I mean, we finally talked about it, and we both remembered identically this, same thing,
Yeah.
But we still don't know what happened that night. We still don't.
Damn, that's crazy.
I have heard a lot of stories of stuff happening like this. Those things produce an energy field, right, around them as well.
Well,
so
you've heard about the stories of like people driving through like in the middle of the night through roads, and then there's like a person on the side, and then they're like, "Hey, can I get a ride?" or whatever. They jump in, and then they're not there.
Right, exactly, right. It's almost like you leave the range at where they were able to manifest themselves.
Damn, I'm gonna
within.
need a refill.
Oh.
Well, I guess because this started super fast, I forgot to tell y'all about the spirit joining us tonight. We are at it again with the 19 Crimes Halloween. It's called The Bride of Frankenstein. They only released it for Halloween, so we're drinking this. Well, I'm the only one drinking this. But yeah, it's pretty good. They're not a sponsor, but they are really good. This one that I'm currently drinking is a red blend. That other one is a Cabernet. They're really, really good. I highly recommend. In the fridge or not in the fridge, they're both pretty good.
I just want to add one recommendation to this story. If you're going to travel at night, 37 North, try not to make it after the 12 o'clock hour. Since I was a kid, my parents always used to talk about not being out there after 12 o'clock. I'm kind of understanding now exactly why. So I would recommend being very careful at that hour of the night. And if you can avoid it, don't do it at night. Don't make that trip back at night.
Do you remember what the dispatch lady said? At all?
I don't remember anymore.
I don't remember what the dispatch lady. She's something's back there from what she told me, right? But I can't remember exactly.
Are they like used to those calls, or?
I mean, maybe that's a possibility, because I'm remembering something about the conversation, like she wasn't too concerned about it, right? I was like there was someone on the road, but I don't know. But then you're talking, I don't know if they're like whatever, they're used to hearing that sort of thing or whatever, or not, like. So who knows?
She just specifically wanted to know on which part of the road it had happened.
Yes. Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, and I remember you were able to. Yeah. I wasn't able to describe the location, the exit, and all that. But
I told her the mile marker.
Right.
I remember now. I told her the actual mile marker that I had seen just before it happened. So that's what we were. I remember now. Being able to tell her that was it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was too shocking, and it's engraved.
Yeah.
It's engraved that Wow.
we'll see. We'll see if we can go back, make that trip at night again. I mean, I don't want to be like shied off from it either, right? Because ultimately, like I said, nothing
really happened.
If anything, we learned that we can swerve at 90 miles an hour or at 75 miles or whatever it was. I learned I can swerve and come back and hold it.
Let me ask you this. You haven't gone back and driven that stretch with me and you in the truck.
Oh, that's true.
Well,
Would you be willing to?
If you do get a dash cam.
You know what? I usually have a dash cam. I didn't have it rolling that night. Yeah. I had run out of storage space or something, because I have a GoPro rig in my truck. Yeah. But for whatever reason, I didn't have it rolling that night.
Hindsight 2020.
I know, right? All right, this takes place in my high school years, back in the day, as they say, right? Okay, so I'm over at a friend's house, and there's 3 of us there hanging out, right? And the 3 of us are always hanging out together, and one of my buddies and I are sitting in the living room, right? And from where we're both sitting, down the hallway, you can see the restroom. Okay. And in the restroom, you can see the restroom, right? And you can see like the door is like flat on, where you can see the light underneath it and everything, right? So one of my buddies is in there taking a shower, right? And we're watching TV, and I don't know what we had done that day, but we were just chilling. We're tired. We're hanging out, right? And we hear our buddy go, "Stop messing around," right? And we both look at each other, right? And I'm like, well, you're both like, I didn't do nothing, you know, right? Like, because we mess with each other all the time, right? So him yelling out like that and him thinking we're messing with him was no like surprise, right? It's the usual stuff with us, right? But about 15 seconds later or so, our buddy is barreling. I'm talking about, we hear a huge commotion in the restroom. Okay, we hear like little sounds first, right? But we don't think nothing of it. Followed by huge commotion, followed by the door busting open with a naked person coming through that. What? With part of the shower curtain coming with, right? And a mad dash of soapy craziness running towards us.
What?
Once my friend chills out, he proceeds to tell us this story from the other side of the door. Okay? So he is in the shower, okay, taking a shower. And he tells us that he starts to hear scratching, like on the wall, right? And it's at this point where earlier in the story, I said, he yelled out, "Stop fucking around, you guys," right? Stop messing around or whatever, right? Because he's hearing scratching.
And so y'all are on the couch like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because we hear him. That's the part where we're like, we're not messing with them. You're not messing with them. Like, why is he yelling out, stop messing with us. Stop messing with me, right?
Yeah.
Right? So he's in the shower. He's telling us what he is telling us. He hears scratching, and that's why he says, "Stop messing with me," because he thinks we're messing with him, which is fully justified. We messed around with each other. We did that stuff, right? We're kids like that, right? Ultimately, he goes, "Stop messing with me," right? He hears the scratching again, and that's when he opens the shower curtain to check to see what was going on, right? In the restroom, there was a ceramic that was I think it was part of the light switch, right?
Okay.
So it was a light switch ceramic, and there was a little raccoon that was part of the ceramic light switch, and it was like that. It had a little smiling face, and it stuck out like that. It was smiling, right? So he says he opens the curtain, okay, and he says the raccoon's face is facing the wall, like with it, like now all of a sudden you can see the back of the raccoon's head, okay, and the raccoon's hand is what he is hearing of the scratching on the wall.
All in the ceramic.
The ceramic itself is moving, he says. Because a hard ceramic that we've all 100 times turned the switch off right there. Okay, when you leave the restroom, right? I've been over there. I've been over our friend's house 100 times, you know. So we all, right? And he said that the raccoon was scratching the wall, and that when he was looking and scratching the wall, and when he opened the curtain, the raccoon was scratching, and it turned and looked at him. Its eyes went red, and the raccoon turns off the light.
Holy fuck.
And all of this, we see on the other side of the door, my friend and I, who are on the other side of the door, we see this happen. We see the light turn off. And that's when the light goes off, that's when he starts barreling out of there to get the heck out. Because the only way to get out is go through that door.
Yeah.
So that's why he...
Holy crap.
So we saw this happen.
I remember which friend you're talking about. And no, it's not the same one, you think?
I think, yeah.
But his sister becomes a card reader shortly after.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that's related.
No, but I mean, something was going on there.
Well, I don't know if that's related or what, right? But ultimately that's what that situation, because there was, like I said, there was other situations, right? Like I said, like sometimes the rocking chair would move, and it was nothing like that. I mean, I don't know if there was other stories that we weren't privy to because that wasn't, you know, our household or whatever. But ultimately, I was there for that one.
Well, something very similar like that happened to me. It was myself, my brother, my younger brother, and my cousin Fernie. It was like, I don't know, 2, 3 in the morning. It was summer. We were kids. We were just like messing around. I don't know why. Oh, probably because of my parents. We didn't have the TV on or anything, but we were just like talking. Mind you, I want to say I was like 15 at the time. I was pretty young. So my brother was like 3 years older than me, and my cousin and my brother were like 2 years younger than me. So we were just like talking. It was like 3 in the morning, and we started flipping through the science book because we're still in school. There's a picture of Einstein. Mind you, we were not talking about anything scary at all. We started flipping through the science book. We were like cracking jokes or whatever, and we see this picture of Einstein, and we're like, because we had seen the picture of when he goes like this.
Yeah,
but it was that's
iconic, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
It was not that picture. This was a regular picture of him, and then we're like, oh, he's gonna stick his tongue out. All 4 of us see it, and he goes,
the picture,
yes,
like Pennywise style in the movie,
yes.
It?
And we freaking throw that book across the living room.
Get out
and we were
here.
like, no
way.
We ended up across the street in front of my house.
You see, that would have been a Scooby-Doo moment for me. That's the exact situation that would have produced a Scooby-Doo moment for me. Those other ones I had to kind of like save my life. right? And the other one happened too fast to even like I need to react. But like that situation,
Yeah, that's why we ended up across the street.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, did you look at that book anymore? Did you look at that book again?
Yeah,
What'd y'all
when
do
we
with the
came
book?
back, we were looking through it. The picture was normal. The picture was completely normal. Like it's literally like textbook Einstein facing forward. The one where he has his tongue out, I don't know, maybe people could corroborate, is him going a little bit like this, and he is like, you know?
Yeah, I remember that one. I have to look it up to know for sure, but yeah.
Not the same picture at all. It was crazy. And you can ask them, they will tell you. We all saw the same thing. Yeah, but also my mom's house is super haunted because my grandma was a witch. So she used to do a lot of cleanses for people. A lot of stuff stayed at my mom's house. To this day, it's still haunted.
Well, if I get brave enough on another time, I'll tell you the Ouija board one.
Oh, no, you have to tell it now.
Oh,
People,
you know what?
you already said.
But you
I
know
have
what?
to prepare for that one. That one is just,
Well-
it's too personal. And,
It is.
Wow.
But you know what? You know what though? I did remember one more with me and you. The dream.
Well, let us
The
know in those
dream.
comments if you want it back. We will request a second part.
A Mike Sr. special.
Hey.
Ouija bird. No, but you got time for one more? And,
Yeah,
and this has to do it with me and him. This one's actually really rowdy. So I'm a little kid. I would say like 5'6", something like that, right around there. And I'm having trouble with my ears.
Yeah.
Right? I'm having trouble with my ears,
no.
right? So I'm often up late at night, okay, with like nausea, that kind of thing, right? And of course I'm like in my 40s, right? So when I was younger, right, when I was a little kid and I was that age, UFO shows only came on like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, when there was hardly any other programming to show. It's not like how it's like fantasized today and like, oh, could it be this, blah blah blah. No. It was more like underground stuff, like you know what I mean?
Like the Unsolved Mystery Show at like 12 at night or whatever.
Yeah, if you're awake at this hour, you might want to watch something scary, right? That kind of that's what was the normal. But anyways, we're up at late and he's up with me, right? And he sees one of the shows, right? And he sees something that triggers a memory from his childhood. Okay? And
let me fill in the gap right there a little bit. I was about 11 years old.
You can bring it close.
I was about 11 years old. And I'm sitting outside. No, not sitting. I'm laying down outside on a swing. A metal swing, the old ones. And from a distance, I see a light coming. And at first, I thought it was one of those moonlights. So
What do you mean by moonlight?
they used to advertise, like stores used to advertise with big giant moonlights.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
spotlights.
Yeah,
Like the
big
Batman.
spotlight. Yeah,
Spotlight,
like
yeah.
the Batman, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing this thing come towards me, right? And I slowly but sure, I know it's not a moonlight anymore. So it comes directly above the house, and it's about 35 to 40 feet in diameter, and it's from one end of the yard to the other end, right above the house.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a huge tube of light, and it's like a bluish color light. Can't see anything beyond the light, It's not blinding or anything, but that's all I can see.
Okay.
So I get up and I start walking towards the house, and that's it. Can't remember anything after that at all. It goes blank, the memory.
Oh my God.
I'm just near the house and totally goes blank.
I've
right
been
there.
waiting to talk about UFOs.
Go ahead.
In the middle of the night, he's telling me this for the first time, and I'm hearing this for the first time as a little kid, right?
As a little kid, how old were you?
I was like 6 or 7, something like that. When I had tubes in my ears and I was having lots of problems.
6 or 7. Okay.
Yeah, something like that. And okay, and he's telling me this story, and I feel my face going white as he's telling me this story, because I'm like, Dad, that's a reoccurring dream I've had for as long as I can remember.
That's crazy.
And when he's telling the story, I'm remembering my dream
Verbatim.
like if I'm him. Not observing him, not looking at him. He's describing what I am seeing. And I'm the one laying on the slab in the dream, seeing what he is seeing. And it's me that's him in my dream. But he is describing what's happening to him, but that's what's happening to me in my dream.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw it too in my dream.
Has this happened again to any of y'all?
No.
As a dream or?
Nothing like that on that.
I've often wanted to go and be hypnotized, be put under, because I wanted to
remember everything.
I've wanted to want to remember what actually happened after I don't remember, right?
Yeah.
I kind of know for sure that it had to have been alien related or something.
Yeah.
Because in one of the shows that I saw later on, I saw that in that show they talked about a tree that died, and that there was radiation around it and stuff. And I said, oh snap. I said, the trees on this side of the house and the other, where it came over, died. So here's the kicker. And this is why I don't know whether to go back or not, because I know how real it is.
Yeah.
My first question was not like, what was it or this or that. It's, why didn't I die if I was exposed to that much radiation standing outside?
Damn.
So I'm still in the daze over that. Like, how is it possible that I was out there underneath this thing, the trees die and I don't?
Yeah.
And a lot of the trees in the path that I've gone back and checked, in the path that it came from, and it stopped over the house, the trees in that path were dead. They died where it came over, because it was right on the trees. It was exactly, right over the trees, So it was like, I'm looking at it, there's no denying, that it's there. And wow.
That's true, because even later on, years later, that's where the bamboo grew kind of funky too.
Yeah.
Because they grew bamboo along at least one side. Yeah. And one section where I remember seeing it, that's the section where it was always a little bit funky, just a little bit weird.
Yeah.
My mom, and I have permission to tell the stories from my mom, but she's had a lot of, and we call it aliens because we don't know what else to call it. It's alien encounters. So the first experience she had, it was, my parents live in Nuevo Laredo. So we were born in Laredo, but we had a house in Nuevo Laredo. So in the process of them building the house in Texas, we lived in Nuevo Laredo. So we had a little trailer in the Laredo plot. We were staying over here during the summer to see, because they were building, they were digging for the plumbing.
Yeah.
So we lived in this little, you've seen the capsule trailers, little tiny capsule trailers. So my dad built an outhouse, a little outhouse, so that we could go to the restroom. My mom wakes up one night at literally pitch black, middle of the night, probably 2-3 a.m. 4 a.m. probably. She wakes up because she really needs to go. She walks from the capsule trailer to the outhouse. She stands right here. We had a little fence at the very back of the lot. It was a very big lot. So she walks halfway and she gets like, mind you, she was like half asleep. So, but she sees this like thing. And my mom has always been fascinated with airplanes because she had always wanted to be like either a pilot or the stewardess. And so she thinks it's an airplane, but it's filled with colors that she's never seen. And she's like, what? So this thing is coming straight at her, stops right above her, white, wakes up in the bed, a different bed, next to one of my other brothers. He was sleeping with me.
Yeah.
And she said that she woke up, massive headache. She doesn't even know if she went to the restroom.
Yeah.
And she's had several other experiences like that. Like, because we had our house in Nuevo Laredo, she said that we were, mind you, this was like a little compound. It was my house, my grandma's house, and then there was this other house over here where another one of my uncles lived. So our houses are like parallel to each other. We were having dinner over here at my grandma's house. My mom goes into our house, and she said that she went to the restroom. She comes out, and she starts feeling like a tremble. And then it was just white light everywhere. No crevice had a shadow, none.
Yeah.
And then it was like, she's like, what the hell? And then just whoop, and then she's like sitting in a chair.
Jeez, man. That's rowdy.
Did it remind
That's
you already?
rowdy.
The white light, the flash.
Yeah.
That's another one that both of us experienced.
That's how it gets. That's yeah.
Those are the freakiest stories, man.
Yep.
Leave me alone.
And there's this one more recent one because we've all heard my mom's experiences. Yeah. So this happened how long ago? Like 4 months ago?
Which experience?
The one that my brother Hector woke up. Hector and Lucy woke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Let's see if we can make Mikey turn white.
Oh, well, this is kind of freaky.
After you're done.
This is kind of freaky because, my mom's lived through this. Those are not the only two. There's more. But very, very recently, like 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, my brother and my sister-in-law, Lucy, were staying at my mom's house because she had just given birth. So everybody was, trying to watch out for the baby and everything. They were staying at my mom's house. And they were both sleeping. Mind you, they're new parents. New parents don't sleep. They have very light sleep.
Yep.
Anything wakes them up because baby.
Mm-hmm.
My brother and my sister-in-law were sleeping in the bed with the baby in between them. House starts going, just rumbling, like all of it. The windows, the whole house.
Yeah.
And and I'm gonna have him tell this in more detail in probably the one-shot episodes, but he basically said he felt that. He woke up immediately. He's like, they're gonna take my mom again. Bolts out of the bed, runs to my mom's bedroom because my dad works at 4 a.m. in the morning. He works for the city Parks and Recs. So he was already gone. And so he goes to my mom's bedroom and she's like, Mom. And she wakes up and she's like, what the hell? And he's like, just like, go with Lucy. That's his wife. He's like, go with Lucy, go over there. And so they go over there. My brother runs the back door and he looks up. Everybody's awake by this time.
Out of the back door?
Yeah, he runs out the back door. a circle, humongous circle, pitch black on top of the house.
Shaking the house.
No clouds, no nothing. There is clouds on top of it.
By giving it background. Dang.
And then he goes back in. They all go in a room. They close the doors, and then the trembling stops. And my mom is like, they were gonna take me again.
Aliens.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness! Yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah.
It was literally like that. You ask my brother, he will tell you the same thing. It was like,
Okay, let's see if we can make Mikey turn white. Okay.
well, I guess we're going for our last story of the night. It's literally the middle of the night, you guys. So, yes.
We're in Austin, Texas. And as usual, we're doing a job. And all of a sudden, the conversation turns into lechuzas.
Well, let me just preface, they're contractors, so that's what kind of job they were doing. Because you never know.
Construction.
Yeah.
Construction.
Yeah, so we're doing some construction work, and a conversation came up about the lechuzas, whether they're real or, this and that. So
Did that just fall on its own?
So
Oh my God.
here we are
The wine cork.
in the middle of the discussion, and one of the guys says, "Hey, I have a video with audio of a lechuza." So he goes to playing the video and audio, and you can hear the lechuza actually talking. In not an
Right. And it's not an internet video. It's like something it's not a post or anything like that. It's like his voice on his phone, on his camera,
Lord
just
Christ.
something recorded on his phone.
Yeah, you said they're not coming back with us tomorrow. You got that frightened from it because the lechuza was talking in a language that was,
Ancient.
yeah, I would say some kind of ancient form language. And the words, you could tell that they were words, but you couldn't make out what it was. So it was like he heard most of it and just left the room.
That's the only detail I vaguely remember is seeing that it wasn't a post. I do remember something about that.
Yeah.
It's about all I can
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I told you over and over, come back, come see it all. And you just refused. You refused. Yeah.
That sounds like me.
Well, no, it was probably like his instinct, just like,
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
pretty. It was pretty horrifying to hear what was coming out of that thing's mouth.
that's crazy.
And it looked almost human, but it wasn't. It was like a half bird, half something.
Human something.
Yeah, it almost had like a head, and everything,
Yeah.
but it wasn't
It
quite
wasn't.
all there, like.
My grandma taught me.
Yeah.
My grandma taught me because they used to live in a ranch when she was growing up, and they used to see these things all the time. She said that her and mostly her uncles used to throw down witches that were flying over.
Yeah.
So the prayer's called Las 12 Verdades. I don't know, the 12 truths maybe, but they used to recite it forward and backwards, and they would just boo
Wow.
fall down. And sometimes they were birds, sometimes they were fireballs.
Yeah. I was in Corpus and I was young then, and we were gonna go to the Pizza Hut across the street for my aunt's house. So my aunt told us, well, if you see the lechuza out there, you have to scream at it and scream curse words to
Yes.
its mother. You curse the lechuza's mother out. So we're going out there, And we're crossing the street. Yeah. So we're crossing the street, and all of a sudden you feel the wind come over. Like that. Oh my goodness. You don't mistaken that it's some huge thing right over you. So we look up, and there's this huge black thing up there. And we just start cursing at it.
Guys,
Oh
watch
my
episode
goodness.
1 of this season because these stories freaking connect. Elisa, that I had here on episode 1, she was saying that in her pueblito over there in Mexico, there was an entity like that, very big black, like this big black bird that would fly around her town.
Did she say it was Tamaulipas?
It was Coahuila.
In Coahuila.
Next door.
Okay, next door to it.
Yeah, but if you go back to that episode, she did say that she saw an entity that her grandma said it was like a witch. So please go back and watch that episode. It's crazy.
I'm not saying it's the same one, but a cousin of mine and myself,
Maybe a different witch.
we shot at one over and over and over and over. They don't die. It just took off from the post it was sitting on.
I was about to ask.
And flew away.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I think we're going to have to do a freaking part 2 later on because this was really, really awesome. Is there anything else that you guys want to add?
And don't use the Ouija board.
Oh, well, that's going to be continued because he needs to tell us. Please.
I gotta go now.
Well, see y'all later. Thank y'all so much for joining us. This was really, really awesome. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.